Ready?
Thomas Lyons, Raps on TV. We're down here at the newly established Kiyan Prince Foundation Stadium.
Major.
Introduce yourself, brother. I don't need to say it. I would let you take
Howdy,
the lead.
it's Justin Finlayson. I run the United Borders Foundation, charity, and I'm here today obviously to support Mark and the Kiyan Prince Foundation. It's a massive gesture. We get to realise that when sports decides to actually impact on social issues, this is a result. And now Kiyan Prince Foundation, Kiyan's name lives on for a long time. But beyond that, the family actually get to raise money to invest into services which are desperately needed for young people. So I'd like to say thanks for inviting me, Mark. Thanks for having me down here. It's been a great day, and really just wish really major things from Mark. He's put his own personal grievance aside with the murder of his son, and he's actually used his energy to inspire a nation. So nothing but love.
Yeah, obviously having experienced a son that's gone through that whole sort of trial and tribulation, just give me your kind of reaction to the way Mark's now elevated himself. He's established a new stadium. People can now look at that on the banners, on the emblems, and say, look, he's actually got this far. I mean, how kind of proud are you?
It's huge. I mean, I met Mark at a book signing, and he reduced me to tears. You know, that's the kind of presence that he has, and that's the kind of love that he exudes. You know, so for me, from a personal level, it doesn't matter what I had going on. I had to be here today for him as a man. But beyond that, I mean, my son was nearly stabbed, was stabbed 11 times and survived his situation. So anytime you meet someone like Mark, a parent that's lost and actually still gives, it kind of informs me on what I have to do with my own life, you know? But I don't know, it's just one of them ones where I just hope that Mark's able to actually make the impact that he has in his head and his heart. And I think with the gesture today, takes the conversation of knife crime away from just a community, and it puts it into the sporting arena, which then puts it's in the mouth of people that wouldn't normally have to be associated to, you know, what our young people have to deal with. So nothing but love and respect for what Mark's achieving, and nothing, really big gratitude has to be paid to QPR as well, because again, I think it's the first time this has ever happened. I mean, even when there's former great players, stadiums aren't named after them. Do you know what I mean? So to think that they've named their stadium for a year after one of their trainees, for me, is massive. So nothing but love and respect for the KPF Foundation.
And we spoke about that outside about you know, stadiums aren't exactly branded after, say, former academy players. They're usually kind of the icons of the sport. So just to kind of demonstrate what you touched on there with the whole youth violence, I know it's a bit louder there.
That's right.
A bit of youth violence. You know, in London, it's kind of cursed a lot of young people growing up, not having the opportunities. You've obviously transpired the way what you've done with the United Borders movement program that you've established. Obviously now getting the exposure it deserves. Just kind of put into perspective how far you personally have come to help aid this narrative behind it.
It's been a long journey, and it's one of those journeys that at times will be fruitless, you know, because you're half the work is when it's young people, they react to what you're doing. But as people are in a position of power, that's not listening to us. But we know the beauty of what we're doing, and we can measure it by the impact of our young people that frequent our services, and they're in our services more than even school structures. So my argument is that if schools are able to be funded and they're failing our young people, how is it services like our own, which is aiding our young people and aiding even families, parents as well? Parents can actually vouch for the work that we're doing. Why are we cap in hand? Why are we begging for funds when yet still our work is, you know, it's testament that our work is actually working? So it's just one of them ones where I'd hope that we're not in this same position in 5 years' time. I hope we're not having the same conversations, and I hope that grassroots initiatives are taken much more serious for the services that we're providing. Yeah,
definitely. Do you feel like football clubs, say other sectors within society, need to contribate more to this tackle against knife crime?
Big time. I mean, but this is what happens when you get big organisations like sports, football involved. It moves the conversation away from just a small community situation to a wider context. They're talking to big businesses. QPR, you know, they're in the football league. If a Premier League football club follows suit, we're now talking about sports for different reasons. I'm now following QPR, not just for their football, but for their philanthropy as well. So for me, it's just like they've got another fan in me. So when I'm checking for Liverpool, that's the best team in the land, by the way. I'm also got to check for QPR. But I've also got to check for QPR as well. Do you know what I mean? Because what they're doing for me, it is the blueprint moving forward. We've got young people killed in almost every city that we care to mention around the land. So if ever football clubs are brave enough and actually said, well, we're not going to let this situation just go unnoticed or quiet. We're actually going to invest so they can actually impact local communities. It's major.
I think as well, you look at the concentration of like football teams in the UK, most of them do reside in London. There's a lot more football clubs Premier League, even non-league teams that are based in London. So there's no kind of excuse for them not to finance towards.
I don't know if it's excuses per se, because a lot of them do a lot of work in schools, for example. But I think it's more when someone like QPR takes that, trailblazers and actually says, well, actually, this is what we're going to do. Then it makes other people look around and say, well, hold on, it's the Bannister Mile situation, you know what I mean? One person does it, then everyone does it as a standard situation. And I think what QPR have done, I've set down a marker and a blueprint to other clubs and said, well, how serious are you guys? So we're putting this name on the front of Loftus Road, do you know what I mean? How committed are you towards reducing youth violence? And they've asked that question, but without naming and shaming, just putting themselves at the forefront. So big respect to QPR and big respect to the the Kiyan Prince Foundation, and even more respect to Raps on TV.
I appreciate that. On that note, I'm going to leave you to it, but I appreciate, Justin, all the work you've done over the last few years. Gratitude and respect to you, man, because what you've done and we'll keep to do. Obviously, we've seen it. The programs go through the roof now. Are you looking to establish a new kind of program? I know you do a lot with the music with the young people. You do a lot of dance as well. So you're kind of mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're mixing it up because young people are like that. They need different services to tell to what they're interested in, and I think that's where schools has to be more flexible. Young people shouldn't have to wait till they reach secondary school or college before they can have different choices. We need to expose them to them choices from now, just as the way that privileged young people are. You know, a lot of our young people can't afford these kind of parents can't afford the services, so it's like, let's make it affordable for everyone. We'll have a better function in society. Do you know what I mean? So just doing my part, bro.
How important do you think education is instilling that discipline, that respect, the morals, values into young people, kind of besides the whole idea of integrating into communities and stuff like that?
I think education plays a significant part, but I think education has also played a part of disillusion young people as well. So we've got to be clear what kind of education we're talking about. I think education itself needs to be rebranded. It needs to go through a complete change. It might be revolutionary, but I believe education doesn't suit a lot of the people that it's geared towards, you know? And a lot of our young people are reacting in ways they can't articulate what it is, but education doesn't fit them in the mold that it's being presented to them. If we present proper options, different options, if people know how to grow food, people know, if I had to wake up and just train for the day, do you know what I mean? That's part of my education skill. If I had to wake up and just be a good person, prove that I can actually just look after a group of 4 young people, these are social skills, educations that they need. And a lot of our young people are going to schools and they're looking after their families at home, and we're giving them mice of men. So hold on a minute, I'm just taking care of my 4 brothers and sisters, what are we doing? So we've got to stop like ridiculing, patronising young people and actually bring them up to speed. They can use the internet. A lot of them now know how to find drugs and all the rest of the stuff that's blighting the communities. So if we present them with better opportunities and better ways of doing things, I think they'll react to the same things.
I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Carla might have said it on a daytime TV show about, like you're touching there, teaching.
So silly.
On that one,
serious to call out and they were like,